Art is a really important vessel for students, not only in the National Art Honor Society, but for all students alike. Art gives students a place where they can feel like their opinions are valued, they can be challenged, and they can learn how to take safe risks and test the effects of cause and effect. Art helps them with goal setting and perseverance and helps students work together for a common cause. Art allows students to create something physical that can sometimes represent something that's going on in their mind. It's a way for students to be able to tell their stories, where they've been, and where they're going. Tonight you're going to hear from our 3 officers. They're going to talk about their experiences as not only officers of the National Art Honor Society, but as student artists as well. But first, here's a few words from our superintendent, Dr. James Lavender.
Good evening, and thank you for inviting me to offer a few congratulatory remarks during this year's 19th Annual National Art Honor Society induction ceremony. Tonight, we gather to acknowledge the talents, hard work, and dedication of our newest members to this prestigious honor society, and we pay tribute to our returning members for their contributions to Kingsway Regional High School as student artists. I join our administrators, art teachers, and our larger Kingsway family in congratulating our inductees for your outstanding achievements in art scholarship, in character, in leadership, and in service. Artist Neil Gaiman said, "The world always seems brighter when you just made something that wasn't there before." As student artists, you innately understand this, which explains your passionate pursuit of art, and we encourage you to continue in your pursuit to make our world a little brighter for it. I hope you continue to fill our schools and our hallways with your beautiful art.
The kind of art that I like to create the most is probably about like abstract art or like geometric abstract art. I'll like paint, draw it, and I really like photography too.
I typically tend to create more paintings, and like for the theme of them, I like to go with more like nature and like plant themes. I like to do some landscapes, and I also like to do some other types of paintings that just involve like plants in it somehow.
Over my time at Kingsway, I have taken Art 1, Advanced Art 1, and Ceramics. And one that I really have enjoyed is Ceramics because it's very hands-on.
Learning about art is really important, and for my life specifically, I feel like it's just really allowed me to have like additional skills that I would not have had otherwise because of all the detail that goes into it and everything you have to pay close attention to. And it takes a lot of time really to create a piece. It's really helped me realize how much hard work you have to put into something for it to pay off. You can do all that while still having fun.
The best things that you make are the things that you take your time on and show the most of you. So I think that art teaches you that you need to be super involved and focused and present.
With art, I feel like a lot of things don't have to be completely perfect. Myself, I'm somewhat of a perfectionist with most of the aspects in my life. I find it hard to work through other things because I feel like it has to be absolutely perfect or else I get upset with what I'm doing or making. You really just have to keep going, and not everything has to be completely perfect.
Art really brings people together. Even in the classroom, people really can elaborate and connect over art, and you learn how to help each other out.
I've been able to connect with people on a deeper level because we do share sometimes what our art is about, and it's a great way to connect with people because you're sharing such a vulnerable part of you sometimes.
It really does feel like its own little community because with the art classes, everyone gives each other feedback, helps each other through the process, and if anyone has any questions or if they're having a hard time with their work, you can just ask your peers.
I think everyone should be involved in art because it's a really creative outlet, and a lot of people don't realize how important that is to discover different parts of you.
Everybody has their emotions, everybody has their feelings, but art can really help you express them in a way that other careers may not do for you. With art, you just put it all out there and it works. Helps me like express my emotions the way I need to.
Every time I get stressed, I just color in my coloring book or draw a silly little sketch, and I know it's always a great way to calm me.
Art education is really a necessity for every student, even if they're not going into anything particularly art related, because some of the struggles that you can encounter when making art really mirror struggles that you can face in other aspects of your everyday life. I was working on this piece for my AP drawing class recently, and it was particularly tricky because everything was sort of jutting out at different angles, and the lighting was hard to get because of those different angles. And I was struggling with just making it all look cohesive and not like it was a bunch of different things slapped together. I just kind of did the painting and I just ignored the fact that I thought it didn't look good and it looked not cohesive. And then after everything was like on the painting in a way that looked messy, I went over it and I sort of used some of the same colors to make it look more cohesive. It was messy, but I just had to power through it.
I know recently I just made a coil pot for ceramics and my coil pot kept breaking, but I found out that not the standard way I would have thought to fix it. It's gonna be the way that fixes it, but a completely different way. So it kind of opened me up to different opportunities that allow me to fix things. My experience with being an officer has been a really positive one because not only was I able to make direct impacts before when I was just a member, but being an officer has really allowed me to drive those impacts and to create new things on my own.
My experience as an officer has definitely made me feel more comfortable in like a leadership position, and I feel like it also helped me get more involved.
A particular aspect of my role as president that I enjoy is helping inspire and motivate the members of the club to get involved and do what they need to do.
My favorite part about being an officer is being an advocate for the student body and being a student voice, because I know we work hand in hand with Miss D to make the decisions that we feel like the members would agree with the most and want to participate in.
There's leadership involved in any position of NAHS, even just being in general membership, because with all of the community service and just involvement with the community that we do, you're a leader. Other people who aren't necessarily as involved as you may be with it.
Being a part of NAHS for 2 years has shown me everybody can help each other. Doing the mosaic, we all came together and made that. Or with the empty bowls, we all came together to do something well for the community.
We do community service like around the school. We host events. We get art into the school community and the outside local communities with these events.
This year we got to participate in Cards for Kids, where we each created some cards that went to terminally ill kids.
We did the craft fair, which was cool because we had to create crafts to sell at the craft fair.
This year our main event was the Empty Bowls fundraiser, and each member made 4 bowls that we each designed and created ourselves.
And everyone has their own personal flair on their bowls, and each bowl was completely unique.
The bowls we're making are for the Empty Bowls fundraiser, which is a fundraiser we're doing for the Food Bank of South Jersey. We get a piece of the clay and make what's called a pinch pot, and then after that we put them in a kiln to be fired. Now we're able to glaze them, which is what we're doing now, and then they'll be fired again to have that shiny glass look.
It was really fun to see how other members of the NAHS got to make their bowls.
Each member also sold some tickets.
You buy a $10 ticket, you get a bowl, you get unlimited soup and breadsticks, and it's just a great fun time.
It was just a very fun way to get creative and to give back to the community. For the Food Bank of South Jersey, we raised about $1,500.
It was a great way to use art to make an impact on others.
The paint night event is another big event that we do. Students teach families, whoever shows up, how to paint a painting step by step.
It's such a great way to bring the community together through art.
It's just for everybody, and it's a great time for everybody to get together and connect over one common thing.
There's art basically everywhere you go. Think about the world without art. Could you imagine a world without art?
Thank you to our 3 officers for their inspiring words, and congratulations to all of the new inductees and returning members here tonight. Now sit back and enjoy the induction ceremony.